So simply you'll have to write the procedure name here, which is my underscore double underscore insert, and then select this line number 111, drop procedure, and execute button. So now procedure is dropped. Now execute the procedure. So exec, then give the procedure name my underscore double underscore insert, and accordingly insert the values like I1136 for EID column, then Lily Rose for name column. Okay, then this Jackson Street for address one column, and HNO house number 1211. These are some arbitrary random values I've chosen. This will be for address two column, New York for the city column. Then this is some arbitrary phone number. Okay, that will be used for this phone column. So all these are so far till for the all these are so far used for the EMP2 underscore 2 table. Then this is for the email column. Then this is for the date of birth column DOB. Then this one is for date of joining column DOJ. Okay. And then these are the last three values which will be used for EMP underscore INC table. So up to this, the values have been inserted for the EMP2 underscore 2 table. Now insert the values for the EMP underscore INC table, like HRD for EMP underscore INC table under which column? Under the department column DEPT. Then associate this value for the designation column DESI. Okay, for the EMP underscore INC table. And the last one is 80,000, that will be used for the salary column of the EMP underscore INC table. And accordingly, these values will be passed to all these parameters. Okay, as they are positioned accordingly, these values will be passed to these particular parameters. Okay, so hit this execute line, and the procedure will be called line number 112, execute, and could not find the stored procedure. Okay, we have to actually, I dropped it, but then again you have to recreate it because that procedure already existed. So I had to drop it, but I didn't recreate it. So you'll have to recreate it. So select execute. Now go and hit the execute button. That is this command for execution for this procedure. And you see the inserted record. There is the inserted records for both the tables for this particular employee whose ID is I1136 has been successfully implemented. For EMP2 underscore 2 table, this particular employee whose EID value is I1136, for that person, all these records for the corresponding fields have been inserted for EMP2 underscore 2 table, and also simultaneously for this particular person only whose EID, that is employee ID, is I1136, the corresponding records for department column, designation column, and salary column have also been successfully implemented. Okay. Now, if I want to delete these records, we have already seen how to delete records from tables by the use of procedures. If you want, you can do that. Otherwise, directly also you can select these lines where we are deleting these inserted records into both these tables. In reality, let us keep our tables in their original format I1136 we inserted. Now let us simply also delete this entire record for this particular person from both the tables. Okay, so hit the execute button. One row affected. One row affected means now from EMP2 underscore 2 table, the entire record for I1136 is gone. For EMP underscore INC table also, the entire record for I1136 will be gone. Okay. Then another thing is that is difference between function and procedure is that functions can be called from within a procedure. Suppose you have some functions, then those functions can be called from within a procedure, but the reverse is not possible. That is, you cannot call procedures from within a function. Okay, so we can call functions from within a procedure, but we cannot call procedures from within a function. So let us see its implementation. Like give the command create function, then give the function name my underscore add to. This is used just for your addition purpose. For that purpose only a function is created, and then give the parameters like at the rate a1 is the first parameter, data type is integer because we will be doing addition, so we will need integer values, comma at the rate a2, that is the second parameter, also an integer type. Okay, and then in the next line, we know in case of function what do, we have to write the returns statement, and after that the data type, the data type we have to write the data type of what, the data type of the output. The data type of the output variable you have to write here, which will be definitely an integer only, because two integers are added, output will be also an integer. So that data type you have to write here, output data type, which is integer. Then in the next line we know as keyword you have to write. Then in the next line begin keyword. After begin you can write end. Then between these two keywords begin and end, you will have to write your query for the function. So in line number 127, declare at the rate a3 as int. So this at the rate a3 will be an output variable, and what's going to happen here, it will store the addition of a1 and a2. Okay, so functions we have already seen. If you have not checked out the function videos, then you can check them out from the playlist. Then select line number 128 here. As we know, set at the rate a3 is equals to at the rate a1 plus a2. So definitely some values will be passed to a1 and a2 respectively. So to a1 some value will be passed, to a2 some value will be passed. These two values will be added and will be stored under this variable at the rate a3, and definitely it will be an integer. Hence declare at the rate a3 as int. Hence the returns type of the output should be also int. Then in the next line, you have to write return at the rate A3. So return the output variable. Return the output variable, which is E3. So select lines 123 to 130 and hit the execute button. Commands completed successfully. So your function has been created. Now let us create the procedure. How to create the procedure we have already seen. Create procedure command you give, then give some name to it, like procedure name, func underscore proc, func underscore proc, and accordingly give some parameters like at the rate b1 data type is int, and at the rate b2 data type is int. And then after create procedure, what we have to write in the next line, as keyword, then in the next line begin keyword, then in the next line end keyword, and between these two keywords you can give your query. So here, like, I have given select dbo dot my underscore add to, then within brackets at the rate b1 comma b2. So what does this line actually mean? We have handled this kind of statement previously also. This kind of a statement is used to call a function. So what we are doing here, we are creating this procedure func underscore proc and declaring some parameters of integer data types. And then within this procedure, what we are doing is, here we are basically calling our function which we just created. Which function? My underscore add to. And when we are calling a function, then some values need to be passed when we are calling a function. Like in our case, we are calling this function my underscore add to. So whenever a function is called, it will have some parameters. So values will be passed to those parameters. So the values will be passed from these two parameters. Values will be passed from these two parameters of the procedure. These two parameters at the rate b1, at the rate b2, they belong to this procedure func underscore proc. Okay. So accordingly, the values which will be stored in these parameters at the rate b1 comma at the rate b2, those values will be passed to these two parameters respectively. That is at the rate a1 and at the rate a2. Okay. So this is how you can, call functions from within a procedure. Here we are, calling a function from within a procedure. You can call multiple functions from within a procedure also. So in line number 135, what we are doing, we are calling a function from within a procedure. So let us create this procedure. Select lines 130 to 136. Hit the execute button. Commands completed successfully. So at first, what we have to do here is we have to execute our procedure func underscore proc. Okay, so go to line number 138 and here you give this command exec, then give the procedure name func underscore proc, and then give the values 10 comma 5. So 10 will be passed to at the rate b1, 5 will be passed to at the rate b2, and then line number 135, as procedure has been executed. Now line number 135 internally will be executed. What we are doing here is we are calling the function my underscore add to. At the rate b1 has value of 10, at the rate b2 has the value of 5, and function my underscore add to will be called. And when it is called, then correspondingly the value of b1 will be passed to a1, which is 10, and value of b2 will be passed to a2, which is 5, 10 comma 5. And ultimately what we are doing here is set at the rate a3 is equals to at the rate a1 plus at the rate a2. That means a1 is 10, a1 is 10 and a2 is 5, so it will be 10 plus 5, that is 15. So return at the rate a3. So when at the rate a3 is returned, that will be nothing but your 15, because here ultimately a1 is 10 and A2 is 5. So 10 plus 5 is 15. That will be the value stored here in this variable, output variable A3. And when it returns, you return this output variable A3, that means the value is returned, which is 15. So all of this you can see will happen internally as soon as you execute this procedure, execute func underscore proc 10 comma 5. Line number 138, execute. You see the output is 15. So this is how you can call a function from within a procedure. Okay. So that's it for this class. That's it for this class, my dear friends. If you have liked this video, then please hit the like, share, and subscribe button, and press the bell icon for further notifications. So thank you.